Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Thank you for joining us. We are excited to have such a diverse group of professionals, training partners, educators, and business leaders from across the regions with us today. Before we begin, a quick note, this session is being recorded and we'll have the time for questions. You guys can drop in any doubts, any questions that you have, and we'll be taking them towards the end and also during the middle of the session. So don't feel free to reach out to us throughout the session. Now, let's talk about why today's topic truly matters. AI education is booming globally, but across the Americas, the opportunity isn't just about teaching AI. It's about how AI training is packaged, positioned, sold, and scaled. Many organizations are delivering great AI programs, but still struggling to monetize them effectively, differentiate in a crowded market, scale beyond one off training engagements. Meanwhile, buyers have evolved. Enterprises, governments, and professionals today aren't just asking, do you offer AI training? They are asking, is it role relevant? Is it certification backed? Can it scale across teams, regions, and industries? And most importantly, does it deliver measurable value? That's exactly what today's session is about: how to capture and scale AI training revenue across the Americas. We'll explore how training providers, partners, and enterprises can unlock new revenue streams, move beyond generic AI courses, and build scalable certification led AI training businesses tailored for the American market. To guide us through this important conversation, we are delighted to have Mr. Bill Becker with us today. Bill Becker is the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships for North America at AI Certs, where he works closely with organizations to build scalable, market relevant AI certification ecosystems that drive adoption and sustainable revenue growth. Beyond his role at AI Certs, Bill is a long-time writer, speaker, and thought leader focused on careers, workforce transformation, and the future of work. He brings a rare blend of strategic insight and real world perspective on how skills based education translates into business impact, especially at scale. He is also the author of two highly regarded books: The Job Nobody Dreams of, Inside the Greatest Career You Have Never Heard of, and Create Your Own Job, an innovative strategy for job applicants. Through his work, Bill has consistently challenged traditional education and career models, making him especially well positioned to speak about how AI training providers can capture demand, differentiate offerings, and scale revenue across diverse markets in the Americas. Bill has been closely involved in helping organizations rethink how AI education is commercialized, expanded, and sustained. And we are excited to hear his insights today. Bill, over to you.
I thank you. I was smiling when she said that I always challenge the norm. My boss will back that up. I'm always looking for new ways and not always taking, the status quo is, gospel. Just for some context, she gave a little bit background on my information. I actually came out of retirement last year for this opportunity. I've been in the training business for a long time, for 25 years, and this is an opportunity that just I thought was amazing, especially, the way that the company was put together and the offering was developed. So very excited to talk to everybody today. This might be a tad different than a lot of webinars. Sometimes I'm kind of a dork, but I bring a lot of experience and I've helped individuals, I've helped organizations sell a lot of training over the years. So hopefully that you will get a lot out of this and we'll get to talk at some point afterwards. So, you know, there's obviously, we always bring statistics to these things, but think about this, that this is a unique time in history, right? For those that are in a kind of a traditional IT training organization that back in the day, we did, 5-day SQL classes and made bank. Maybe, 2% of the world had even heard of SQL. we're in a situation today where pretty much the entire world has heard of AI, whether they want to or not. I always joke that you can't go 5 minutes and not hear those two letters, but this creates an amazing opportunity. And the other part of that is too that those companies that enrolled people that took a SQL class, they had one or two people that needed that, right? This is something that's never really happened before where the entire enterprise, every single employee needs some sort of AI training. And the way that AI Certs does it, especially with the certification, is what gets me excited. So no matter how you cut it, there's a huge demand. And not just, here in North America. I know a lot of times we'll get, people that, sneak into these from other parts of the world, but that's the beauty of it, right? Never in history where every single company, regardless where they are in the world, needs some sort of AI training. Everybody's thinking about it, executives, HR directors, the workforce. It's such an incredible opportunity to create significant AI training and certification revenue. So, selling to enterprises that whether it's 5 people to 50,000, all the companies need it. Governments are asking for it. I have a client in Italy that is in charge of rolling out the Italian AI initiative. I have another partner who is helping facilitate a new law in Texas that has to roll out. It's a law where all Texas state employees, public employees, have to have AI training. So the beauty of it, all this too is there are rules and regulations that are forcing entities to get training. That's a great thing, right? Associations are another thing. So we work a lot with associations where they want to get their membership trained up. We also are doing some really cool things where we're co-developing, co-branding, and co-selling certifications with different associations. So Cyber Futures Foundation is one where we have a couple courses. The International Institute of Auditors, internal auditors, we have one rolling out. So we love, if you're with an organization, we'd love to talk to you about not only getting your membership AI ready, but also having a conversation about, co-developing your own certifications. And then, of course, academic, universities, colleges, that's a big area too. And it's a unique opportunity. And so that's why we have, and you'll see the different places where we partner. But within there, why do you go to college? Why do you go to school? To get ready for a job. And part of getting ready for a job in 2026 is making sure that you're AI ready. And the way things that work normally with academic institutions is a long time trying to get curriculum developed and especially approved. So we've seen some unique things where academia is adding our courses into their curriculum, whether it sits with inside the curriculum or on top of it, which requires less of a lift and approval process. So again, another statistics, and you all see this, different ones out there that, companies are starting to adopt AI, whether they know about it or not, right? Smart executives realize that even if they haven't had a plan, they haven't done training, the employees are probably using AI, if simply just using Copilot or ChatGPT, right? So they want to get a handle on this. All of 2025, they were being bombarded on this. They're hearing about this, and so now it's a new year and new budgets, which is exciting, from a training provider, right? So, and the other thing too is, put aside that people want employees that know how to utilize AI. This is one of the parts that I do a lot of HR webinars, and there's workforce anxiety out there, right? We've all seen the headlines: 10,000 people, 19,000 people, all whacked because of AI. I think most people understand those are lies. There are not citywide, city worths of people being, replaced by AI. That's just not possible today. What's happening is it's cover to appease Wall Street or private equity, or those jobs are getting shipped overseas. The good news, though, AI is coming for tasks, and that's great. That's how you should, approach your customers, because if you can free up 1, 2, 3 hours a week, getting rid of these mundane tasks, employees become better. You become a better employee. You become more valuable. Now you can use your institutional knowledge to do things that actually make a difference in a company, help a company, create new revenue streams. So companies are looking for ways to get, their workforce AI ready, and our partnership program is the perfect way to do that. You know, the requirements that people are looking out there. So think about this. We all know you can learn anything you want for free on the internet, right? You can go to YouTube, you can, different places. So if an individual was going to go out and learn this AI thing, what would they do? Well, if they're smart, they're going to go out and they're going to read case studies that are relevant to their industry. Also, it'd be a good idea to go look at case studies in other industries too, because what works, what's going on over here in healthcare might work in manufacturing. Then they go and say, all right, what kind of tools, what kind of AI tools are people using in my job role? There's a lot, right? Every day there's new. But you can go and do that, play around with the free versions. And so you are legit AI ready, right? Prove it. That's where the certification comes in. That was the brilliant plan, when AI Certs was put together, that we look at ourselves as a certification org that provides training through our partners. So everything starts with the certification. A lot of job task analysis, research, boring stuff to all of us. My general manager said one day, he goes, Bill, I would make you cry if you ever sat in one of those meetings. But it creates a legit proctored exam, and from that come the courses. So it has to be a global recognized certification, and we are. Role-based, that's the biggest difference on AI certs. I will tell prospective partners, we don't really train on AI. We train on how AI impacts specific job roles. No one else in the world does that, especially with the certification. And then, people like to learn different ways, right? So it's not just a video. It's not just, listening to a live instructor. We'll get into, the UI a little bit later, but there's different ways to learn every single course. Some people like to read, some people like to listen. And so that's very exciting, that we'll get into later. The other thing too is, if you're going to go out and do this yourself, you could, right? The thing about AI is going to change. So in our courses, whether it's instructor-led or e-learning, a student gets access for a year. And because it's AI, it's going to change. And so if you develop your own AI course, you're likely going to have to update it, in a few weeks or a couple of months. We already do that. So we keep that update. We also make sure that we used to say that we were vendor, aligned, vendor neutral, that, we fit into the same spot where some of your more traditional IT certifications. So we don't compete with those. We align with those. So some other things too, that how fast are you going to do this? This is a race right now. Everybody's looking, the year really started last Monday on the 5th, right? Now everybody's kind of getting back into the work groove. Everyone's looking to take care of this AI thing. Board members, executives know that this has got to be one of their top priorities. They don't want to be caught not AI ready. That falls into HR directors, IT directors, and then the workforce. Everybody's hearing of this, and people are going on their own. It's like, hey, what can I do to make myself AI ready? Because of all this, there's all this competition out there, right? So many people are offering AI training. And that was the beauty. That's what got me out of retirement is AI certs doesn't train on AI. It trains on how AI impacts specific job roles with a certification. And that was very exciting. And you should be excited about it yourself. So I mentioned again, you could go out and you could build your stuff, but why? Why would you do that? And it just, even the upkeep is just mind boggling. Do what you do best. And that's selling to your current customers and then new customers. And yeah, you could do it. It's going to take a long time. You got to keep it updated. That's just, there's no reason for you to do that today, especially when we have something that you can just use immediately. Today, we have, hundreds of thousands of students that we have hundreds of instructors around the world. We have over 60 certifications, have partners all over the world. And when you become a partner, and this is basically, this was set for North America, but I know there might be some outside, regardless where you're located. You become a partner, you're going to focus on the area where you are today. So we say if you're a partner here in the US, good chance you have customers outside the US. You absolutely can sell to those as well. We have multiple languages on our courses, so there is no geographic limitations. I remember, last year I had a couple of people, individuals, they wanted, well, I want all of Canada. And it's like, that's not how that works, right? At the very least, we can't geofence it. So the opportunity is the entire world is that your opportunity to sell training. So some important items to think about. The content is fresh. The content gets updated on a quarterly basis. It could be, hey, there's a new case study that's involved. There's, we found out, a cool new tool that we put that, and then students will get an email notification. Exams, the certification is what sets everything else apart. These are industry specific, industry recognized certifications. And then just the support that we're going to get into in a little bit of helping you promote your offerings. That's what I've been a salesperson my entire career. First 16 years in radio sales and the last 20 some years in IT sales. And I've never seen a partnership program that has the capabilities and the resources that we provide. Because in the end, we only make money when our partners do. So I'm going to take a quick drink here and go into. So I mentioned we have 60 certifications today. Every month we add 10 to 15. Our goal by the end of the year is 250. So we start out going wide, different practice areas. We're still going wide, but now we're also going deep. Healthcare is a perfect example. For several months last year, we had our anchor course, AI Plus Healthcare. Now we have healthcare administrator, doctor, nurse, healthcare assistant, pharmacists. We have others coming, and we're doing the same thing: legal, finance, marketing. So there's so many different courses that are available to market and sell, and every single course has an instructor-led version and an e-learning version. So you're able to sell both. Some may want to just sell e-learning. Some want, just deliver instructor-led. You can do that. There are no limitations there. So let's talk about our partner profiles. So we'll traditional training centers, down to, individual coaches. That's where our, training partner, our ATP program comes into. That allows you to sell and market instructor-led training, as well as sell the e-learning. Associations, we talked a little bit about too. If you're an association, we have a separate program for that. Still get the same marketing materials. It's just things are a little bit set up differently for associations as they would be a traditional training company or coach. But also, I mentioned, the academic program. So those are really usually almost every single one of those are a custom developed partnership agreement because every academic institution is different. Are the courses going to go into the curriculum? Are they going to sit on top of it? Are they going to be at the end of a course? Are the professors, the support staff, are they going to be involved too? So we love to talk to academic institutions, and we custom develop the program for them. And an affiliate program, you know, I think everyone's kind of familiar with affiliate programs on different things, but this is allow you to sell the e-learning versions of our courses. I also have ATPs and associations who are full partners also become affiliate partners because of the instant e-commerce capability. So if you become a full partner and you don't have e-commerce available on your website, become an affiliate partner, boom, you can have a sale that same day. And then as roll out your partnership program, you may want to, add e-commerce ability to your website. But affiliate marketing just on its own, you may have a newsletter, you may have a podcast. It's just a great way to sell a course, a bundle of courses, or the entire catalog. Smart partners are also going out to, podcasts and newsletters, people that run those and do co-deals. It's like, hey, we know you have empty ad inventory. So, use these links. We'll split the revenue with you. So those are the cool things that, I like to do that, come up with different ways to help my partners make money. So when I first put the very first uh, partner program last year, just like, what? We're going to make this simple. We're going to plug it in, you promote it, and you're going to start making money. And that's really what we did. So I talked about all the stuff that's already ready in our partner portal, and you'll see a screenshot here in a minute. We have over 500 sales and marketing assets, from course outlines, executive summaries, email templates, Canva templates, social media stuff, lots, just a ton of sales and marketing, battle cards to help train the salespeople. Um, we have we have the technology stack, we have the global credibility. Today, every single course, English, Spanish. We have multiple courses in German, Mandarin, some Arabic, Italian is coming. We're just waiting for partners to come to us and say, hey, Bill, I got 150 people that need AI plus educator in Portuguese. We can get that turned around. So for all of you, again, even if you're just here in North America, good chance that you have opportunities outside. So we have the ability to do almost any course in multiple languages. So the promote, this is the big thing. This is what gets me excited because I've been in sales and marketing my entire career. I love to do webinars with my partners. Now there's two different types of things that we'll do. We'll do a traditional webinar, sort of like what's going on here today, where it's just Bill talking about, the iCerts opportunity. Also do fireside chats where it's me and, the CEO or president, where we're just having a conversation about what's going on with AI in the workforce and what's really, what's real, what's not real, and the best path forward for both individuals and companies to get AI ready. So lots of different resources, lots of different assets. The other thing too is if you've been to our website and you hopefully you have, but one of the things that we did is put together a course called AI Plus Foundations. and that's free. So a traditional 1 day instructor-led class, 6, 8 hours of e-learning. The 5 day instructor-led class, 40 hours of e-learning. AI Plus Foundations is 3, 4 hours. It's a legit course, has its own certification, but it's free for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, it's tremendous lead generation for partners because you hand that out, people get a little bit of AI literacy, they experience the course, they go, this is awesome. I can watch videos, I can listen to podcasts. There's an AI mentor in there. I've had solopreneurs, individuals that have signed up as partners because they have their own coaching practice, have given out themselves each over 100 foundation courses in the first couple of weeks. Now those foundation students are coming back to buy paid training. So, webinars, the foundations to help do lead gen. We have so many things we do for partners because, again, we don't make money unless our partners do. So our interests are aligned, right? So the different models on the training. So instructor led, um, and that's something that we should talk about too, about on the trainer side, is it does not cost. We'll get into a little bit deeper, but it does not cost to become a certified trainer. You simply do the course, pass the exam, you go in with our training team. Just as we have a ton of resources for partners to help promote and sell courses, we have a lot of resources for our instructors. We provide the deck, the PowerPoint slides for the class. We have lecture notes. We have meetups. And just like there's an AI mentor for learners in every course, there's an AI mentor for instructors. But obviously the big bucks, the high margins are instructor-led training. So to give you an example, a 1 day, and these are suggested retail price, right? Because you can charge whatever you want. Instructor-led course, 1 day, $995, $1,000. Partner cost is 160. So obviously tremendous margin there. And these are before any quantity discounts, which we love to have those conversations, right? E-learning, suggested retail price for 1 day, $195, $200. Partner cost 117. So even there's really good margins. And the way the courses are put together are designed to be stackable. So you're not just selling, one course, the same course to everybody within a company. Where things get really exciting is on enterprise deals, because the way the courses were designed, as I mentioned a second ago, is to be stackable. So you think about that. You're talking to a company. Everyone in that company needs to, at the very least, to have AI literacy, right? So AI plus for everyone. You can and should make a case that everyone should know how to write great prompts, right? No longer a nice to have career skill. It's a must have. So AI plus prompting. And then the role specific course. You're in marketing, take AI plus marketing. You're in sales, you're an executive, AI plus executive. So now you have at least 3 courses for every single employee. And those are where the cool enterprise sales comes into, and, where I know that we have a partner that did SQL training in the past for a hospital. They're doing 5-figure deals now with the entire healthcare system. So again, think about this. Never in the time of history is where something is needed by every single person in a corporation. And the media, the world is helping promote this, right? Because you cannot get away from those 2 letters. So it is, I would say it's a target-rich environment for this type of training. And you should be excited about it. I mentioned the partner portal. So here you see a screenshot. This is where all the magic is for you to, when you become a partner. You can go in, you get access to all the assets, all 500 plus assets. You also get to be able to track your enrollments, see how far a student has gone, whether they've ever logged in. Um, it's also every month. We just had January's a couple hours ago. Every month we have a partner meeting. It's where we share upcoming releases, best practices, Q&A. It's recorded, so those recordings go into the partner portal. So if you missed it, you can go back and read it. We also put the deck from that meeting in there, so you can go back in there. The partner portal is also where you would go into and enroll students. If there's two ways to do that. You can do it manually by enrolling them either into the e-learning or instructor-led. We also have a lot of new partners that are doing integration with their website. So we have an integration team. We have very good documentation on how to do integration. So different ways to get your students access to the content. And everything starts with the partner portal. So everyone, roadmaps. How do you get started? You figure out which way you're going to go. Are you an association? Are you a training company? Do you want to just become an affiliate? The beauty of it is, again, all of our courses today, English, Spanish, we're rolling out new languages every day. We want new languages. So you come to us, we're gonna take those courses and put them into the language that you need. To get started, and we've had some new onboarding things that are going on, but we want you as quickly as possible to get up and running. You can legit have sales the day that you sign. And even if you don't do, the e-commerce part of it, you could just, the idea of this partner program is you've been in business for X number of years. So you have this database of people who've bought from you, who trust you. And the cool thing is, every single one of them is thinking about AI, right? Even if they don't want to, but they're thinking about it. So they're looking for it. Why not go to, the company you already trust? And so you should first and foremost mine your database, email campaigns, webinars. And then after you do that, then we help you go out and find new customers and think about different ways, to do unique partnerships. Think about different ways to sell instructor-led training. So there's 3 ways we can do instructor-led training as a partner. You can deliver it yourself. And again, it does not cost anything for your people to become certified instructors. You can sell into another partner's class and you just simply split the revenue 50-50. Or if you have, and that's really good, if you just have 1 or 2 people that really want instructor-led, but you don't have anybody, then yeah, sell into a partner and you don't lose any of that revenue. If you have like 3, 4, 15 people and you don't have an instructor, rent an instructor and keep all the revenue. So different ways to do that. And we have partners doing things together all the time. And then as you start getting some of your first successes, then we start looking for bigger deals. And I've been going on sales calls last week, this week with my partners' customers. So I will talk as much or as, little as you want within a sales call, but that's created some amazing opportunities with some of my partners. And I would love to go on sales calls, to your customers as well. So like kind of wrapping things up, why AI search, right? What's the big deal is role-based. We teach our courses, teach how does AI impact specific job roles? The case studies and the tools that are in AI plus healthcare obviously going to be different than AI plus law. That's exciting. People go, seriously, that's really cool. Within a course, you will get your hands dirty, with 3 or 4 tools that are role specific for that particular, your job role. In addition to that, there in every course, there's a PDF of listing 10 to 20 other tools that are role specific that we've curated said, hey, you might want to go look these out as well. And if you're, in academia, we'd love to have that conversation. How are these courses going to fit into your degree program? Because that degree is worth something, right? People have put in a lot of money. They put in, 2, 3, 4 years. What's missing is the AI readiness, most part. And so it's a great way to add these on to for, any academic institutions you're already working with or possibly want to work with within, your town, your state. I mentioned about things being updated. You get access for a year that, and kind of the updates come from a couple different ways, right? Instructors go, hey, came across another case study, or I saw this new cool tool that, we probably should put into the AI plus marketing course. The other way that the updates come from is that same research that went into developing the certification doesn't stop when we roll it out. It continues. So the updates come from a couple different areas. And like I said, students will get an email say, hey, your course has been updated. AI certs, certifications. If you go on LinkedIn, you'll see a lot of people. Once you pass the exam, and it's very easy to click and post your badge up there on LinkedIn. So everyone's seeing the logo. Everyone's seeing uh, what's going on. So it is globally recognized, and everything's in one package. In the old days, and I'm sure it probably still happens on some IT certifications, you pay for a course. Then you got to go pay, for an exam voucher and possibly go someplace else to do the certification exam. Everything is self-contained with us. The exam is built into the course. You have a free retake. So there's actually 2 shots built into the course. If someone didn't get it after 2, they can buy a third exam attempt. So that's available. But it's all right there. And again, this is legit. It's proctored. It will watch your eyes. It'll make sure, there's no cheating. It's just an exciting combination where you don't have to mix and match, exams and courses. So this is kind of it. We would love to have a conversation with you. Again, I've been around forever. um, I got in the training business the day the Concorde crashed. It's a weird memory, but my first day at a New Horizons in Tulsa back in the day, that was big news. It's all to point out is I have a lot of experience selling training. I made mistakes, which is good to know what not to do, right? All to say is I can help you create a significant amount of AI training and certification revenue. And I would love to have, an individual conversation with everyone that showed up today. And that's it for me. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer those as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, we did have some questions, but I think Uja have been answering all those uh, questions in the chat box. And yes, we have received all the email IDs and all the kind of doubts and from the audience, and we'll be connecting with them after this session. Sure. But before we close, before we conclude, I would like to take a few questions which are left. So, the first question here we have is, how is this different from Coursera, Udemy Business, or vendor-led training like AWS or Microsoft?
Sure. So the AWS, Microsoft, those are AI certifications based on their technology, right? So we're agnostic. We don't train or certify on a particular technology. Again, we are role based. So every single course on a different role, there's different tools in there. So there's no one technology that we're doing that on. The stuff on the marketplaces is, I again that those are generally it's good. It's just training about AI, right? The big difference for us is what got me so excited. How does AI impact this particular job role? A doctor, a marketer, a salesperson, an attorney. And great, that has a certification. Back to where I mentioned at the beginning, you can learn anything you want for free on the internet. You still have to prove it. And so for your enterprise customers, since they have to train the entire company, that's a big investment. Yay, right? We like big investments in training, but they want to know they got a good, return on that investment. Knowing that people got certified, passed a certification exam. I guess real quick on the certification exam, it's 90 minutes. You have to get 70% on that. So it's not a pushover, but you go through the course. There's self checks at the end of each module, so the course helps you get ready for the exam as well as get you AI ready in your job. I feel like this is where I normally say I could have answered that question in fewer words.
Yeah, that works well. Thank you. The next question that we have is what kind of infrastructure or LMS setup is required on the partner side?
So the answer is what everyone hates. It depends. So if you have your own website, you can simply just put up the course outlines. We provide outlines to every course. We also have a little podcast, usually they're like 5 minutes that talks about that certification that you can add to that. And then however you take enrollments and whatever you're training you're selling today, you just do that. You collect those enrollments, you go into the partner portal and do that. If you want to make it seamless and have an integration in the famous make money while you sleep, is then you can integrate your back end with our back end. And so people can go, punch in a credit card number and then get instant access to the course. So it just depends on how you're set up today. And as I mentioned, if you don't have e-commerce today, you can have instant e-commerce by becoming an affiliate partner. So I mentioned earlier the pricing. So give you an example here. $195 suggested retail price for a one-day course. Partner cost 117. So it's a 40% margin in that case. As an affiliate partner, you get 30%, but AI Search takes care of all the credit card transaction costs. So it's not quite a wash, but it gives you instant e-commerce. So it depends on your individual setup, but we've been doing this for so many different partners and we're learning new ways to do it. Would love to have the conversation on, the best way to get you set up.
Okay. So the last question for the evening, do we have all of this in Korean language?
The correct answer is I'm not sure. I don't think so. But we would love to. I know we have Mandarin, I think is the only Asian one now. But if there's an opportunity there, please let's talk very soon because we can make that happen.
Yeah, actually, the person who has asked this question is quite interested in all the certifications, and so maybe we have his email ID and we can connect later on after this
Yeah,
session.
absolutely. Give
Yeah.
that to me, and I will reach out, send you and all of you, my meeting link, and you can set up a time for us to chat. Obviously no obligation, but you're interested enough to sign up for the webinar. Um, it would be kind of foolish not to spend another 15 minutes talking one-on-one on the best way to help you take advantage of this opportunity. Maybe we don't become partners, but there's a huge risk if we don't talk because, guys, you could miss out on some significant revenue.
Definitely. With that, Bill, we come towards an end of this session. I would like to thank you for your valuable insights and obviously
Yeah.
to everyone who has joined us today.
All right. Everyone have a great one. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your time and engagement. And you'll be receiving your participation certification after this webinar. And also, we'll be sharing the recording very soon. If in case you have any follow-up questions, you can just drop us a mail or you can reach out to us directly over our website. We'll be happy to assist. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.